Facts. To know. The origin of the word, nirvana, relates to religious enlightenment. It comes from the Sanskrit meaning, extinction, or disappearance, of the individual to the universal. In the Buddhist tradition, nirvana is described as the extinguishing of the fires that cause rebirths and associated suffering. The Buddhist texts identify these three fires, or three poisons, as raga, which means greed and desire, dvesha, which means aversion or hate, and moha, which means ignorance or delusion. The state of nirvana is also described in Buddhism as cessation of all afflictions, cessation of all actions, cessation of rebirths and suffering that are a consequence of afflictions and actions. Nirvana is part of the third truth on cessation of dukkha in the Four Noble Truths doctrine of Buddhism. A state of freedom from all suffering that Buddhists believe can be achieved by removing all personal wishes. A state of being perfect. Liberation is described as identical to non-self, or lack of any self. In Buddhism, liberation is achieved when all things and beings are understood to be with no self. Nirvana is also described as identical to achieving something, emptiness, where there is no essence or fundamental nature in anything, and everything is empty. Achieving nirvana is to make earthly feelings, like suffering and desire, disappear. It's often used casually to mean any place of happiness. In Buddhism, we are said to be trapped in samsara, an existence filled with suffering caused by ego, our desire to create and maintain a permanent self that is not subject to change. We achieve nirvana, a state of total peace, without any clinging or struggle, when we are completely free from the illusion of ego. One who reaches nirvana is called an arhat, an enlightened person, who is free from suffering and free from the poisons of passion, aggression, and